Camp Nou is rising to fit more and more fans. Barcelona's iconic stadium is growing faster than ever, and one of the most important phases of the reconstruction is already complete. The project is no longer just a vision, it's becoming reality, step by step, with visible progress that's changing how the entire stadium looks today. In this video, we break down the latest construction updates, what happens next, how capacity will grow, and what it all means for the 2030 World Cup final race. Let's begin. StadiumDB.com presents Camp Nou Renovation Update. We're starting with big news from Barcelona, because the club has just hit one of the most significant milestones in the entire Camp Nou reconstruction. The installation of prefabricated stands across the entire third tier is now complete, including the final remaining section in the goal sud end. That closes another major structural phase of the project. In a redevelopment of this scale, finishing the full ring of upper seating is a real milestone. It shows that the stadium is starting to take on its final form, at least in terms of its main bowl structure. The next step will be sealing and waterproofing the stands. That part is essential before the area can be prepared for regular use. Only after the end of the current season will workers be able to move on to installing seats in these newly completed sections. Barcelona's return to the stadium is still expected to happen gradually, rather than all at once. According to the current plan, the first part of the third tier to open will be a side section, and that is expected by the end of September. Along with that area, VIP boxes in the same section are also planned to become operational. That would make it the first part of the highest level of the stadium to be open to the public. Once that happens, the capacity of the venue will rise. Another major issue is what happens outside the stadium, not just inside it. Barcelona wants FC Barcelona to take on a much bigger role in managing fan movement around Camp Nou, particularly on major match days. The plan is to build a more preventive system, with dedicated routes for away supporters and better control of where large groups gather before and after games. The biggest pressure points are districts like Les Corts in the city center. That became especially clear when thousands of Newcastle United fans arrived in Barcelona for a European tie, many of them without tickets. The result was massive crowds around La Rambla and Plaza Real, with residents complaining about noise, litter, and disruption to daily life. To address that, the city is preparing a series of physical changes around the stadium, including traffic monitoring systems, wider sidewalks, and safer pedestrian corridors for residents and people with limited mobility. Officials are also working with local bars and restaurants to limit the sale of alcohol in glass bottles on match days. On top of that, Barcelona is considering a citywide information campaign targeting visitors before they even arrive, with airlines, the airport, and hotels all involved in spreading the message. Camp Nou is rising, and our channel is growing too. If you want to join us, hit subscribe and leave a like. It's free, and it makes a big difference. Thanks. So, when exactly will Camp Nou reach more and more seats, and what comes after that? According to the current plan, the first section of the third tier to open will be a side stand, and that is expected by the end of September this year. VIP boxes in that same area will open alongside it, making it the first part of the upper ring ever used by the public. Once that happens, capacity will officially cross the 70,000 mark. But Barcelona are not stopping there. Before the end of 2026, further sections of seats are set to follow, including the tribuna side and its VIP areas. If construction stays on schedule, that would push the total capacity up to around 80,000 seats. That means by the end of this year, a significant chunk of the upper tier will already be active, giving fans a real taste of the new matchday experience. Getting to 80,000 is one thing, but reaching the final 105,000 capacity is a much bigger challenge. The last sections of the third tier to open will be Goal Nord and Goal Sud, the two end stands. Those are expected to be completed in spring 2027. Once those open, the entire third-tier phase of the rebuild will effectively be closed out. But the stadium won't be truly finished without its roof. Work on the massive roof structure is planned to begin immediately after the 2026-27 season ends. While some of the supporting pillars are already in place, the actual installation will require heavy machinery and access to the pitch itself. Because of that, it simply cannot happen during a live season. Experts consulted by the club estimate that the roof installation process will take around 4 months. It's a massive logistical operation, and it's the final major hurdle before the stadium can operate at 100% capacity. And if that timeline turns out to be too tight, Barcelona have a backup option on the table. They could potentially return to the Olympic Lluís Companys Stadium on Montjuïc, the same venue they used during the main reconstruction period, just while the roof is being completed. Once the roof is sealed and the final seats are bolted in, Spotify Camp Nou will officially hit its 105,000 capacity, reclaiming its crown as the undisputed largest stadium in Europe. All of this leads to one final question. What are Barcelona's real chances of hosting the 2030 World Cup final? At the moment, we put those chances at around 30%. That is not a prediction of victory, but it does reflect the fact that Camp Nou remains a serious contender in FIFA's eyes. And with construction moving at a very strong and consistent pace, those chances could increase further over time, especially if key milestones are met. Barcelona's strongest argument is scale. Once the renovation is complete, Spotify Camp Nou is expected to hold around 105,000 spectators, making it the largest stadium in Europe and one of the biggest venues in the entire race for the final. That matters because capacity remains one of the most important criteria when it comes to selecting a World Cup final venue. The city also has a strong and proven track record as an international host, having organized multiple global events, and the club is using the redevelopment of Camp Nou as clear proof that Barcelona is ready for an event of this magnitude. FIFA has already sent technical representatives to inspect the stadium and monitor progress, which clearly shows that the candidacy is being treated seriously and remains under close evaluation. Still, the competition is strong and highly competitive. Santiago Bernabéu is firmly in the race as well, offering a fully modernized venue in the Spanish capital, and the stadium in Casablanca could potentially deliver an even larger capacity than any European option. The final decision will ultimately depend on the pace and reliability of construction progress, the overall operational readiness of each venue, and FIFA's broader strategic assessment of the host cities, including infrastructure, logistics, and global appeal. Will Camp Nou be completed by the end of 2027? Let us know in the comments. For more daily stadium content, visit our website and follow us on social media. See you next time.